seems like we're doing more tribute shows than we are
Yeah, like
regular
we
episodes.
only dust ourselves off when people die. Like,
But how have you been, Cheyenne?
I've been too damn busy. You, sir?
About the same.
Yeah.
I know we haven't done an episode since the Dusty tribute, almost 2 months ago. But I know you went on vacation. How was that?
Vacation was great. Very, very fun. I did miss being home, but I did very much need it. My brother had an awesome wedding.
Congratulations.
Yeah, she had an awesome wedding, beautiful reception. It was well needed. It was well needed. But I was gone 7 days, so I did start getting homesick by about day 5 or so.
Yeah, and I mean, I was trying to at least keep you posted if anything big happened while you were gone.
Well, the biggest thing was the Hogan deal, right?
Yeah, you were out during the Hogan deal. I know I hit you up during Raw to let you know where the SummerSlam build was starting with Taker and Brock with the backstage brawl, and then Cena starting the program with Rollins. But other than that, it was the Hogan thing. Which, I mean, when I hit you up, I didn't even know what the hell was going on yet, and it was tough just because you were in another country, so it was tough to really communicate and send you links and stuff like that.
Yeah, well, it was easier. It was easier to talk through Facebook Messenger. I'm surprised my bill wasn't sky high, but luckily enough, it was.
I mean, it's been a crazy ass week in the world of wrestling.
Yeah,
specifically those two names, Piper and Hogan, which 30 years ago they were the two biggest names in wrestling, and now this week again, not for good reasons for either one.
Not at all for good friggin' reasons at all.
I guess we can start with Piper. I know that's gonna be tough, but I'd rather.
Yeah, I'd rather just get out the way, quite frankly. Just because I'm gonna do the whole Dorian bit. I guess you could say.
I mean, it's tough because he is one of the guys that I grew up with and looked up to, even though his prime was about around the time I was born and before I was born, but still, he was still around a lot in the 90s, and even until the 2000s, he still played a pretty big role.
Yeah.
And I mean, I wish I was born 10 years earlier just so I can experience him in his prime. And he's always been my favorite guy from the 80s.
Yeah.
As much as Dusty and Warrior and Macho, they were all really sad. I feel like this one was the first one that's hit me really, really hard since Eddie.
Real quick, I'm sorry to cut you off, but are we filming?
Yeah.
I had no idea we were filming. We didn't do an intro or anything.
Yeah, we started off kind of.
I didn't even know we were filming or anything. Oh, can we do it over?
I thought you knew because you were flowing pretty naturally.
No, well, I was talking to you because it's you. Can we go over? Can we do it over?
All right.
Yeah,
all right.
Yeah. No, that caught me off guard.
Woo! I'm the best in the world.
What I'd like to have right now.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Because I was right.
Are you ready?
It doesn't matter.
I said, are you ready? I'm a sexy beast, baby. I was up all night.
And I'm
I'm Bosh.
Yeah, let's do the whole intro thing. Like that's not normal to me.
I wasn't in the excited intro mood.
I know, but we gotta do the excited intro. Come on now.
All right.
We gotta do it. Come on.
Take 2.
All right, take 2. I'm sorry. I'll take the first hit on this.
That's all right. Cut me off in my train of thought
Because
there.
I was like, wait a minute. Because I was like, save this for the show, and then I was like, oh, this is the show.
Hi everybody, I'm Bosh.
I am Cheyenne. The last I checked, and take 2.
This is the 4 Life Podcast.
This is still the 4 Life Podcast, the longest running weekly, episodic, periodic, whatever they feel like it, only when people die podcast. Currently going on in the wrestling world. Bosh, how in damn hell are you?
Doing pretty good. It's been a rough week. Obviously bummed out about the Piper news.
Yeah. The unfortunately, was it Friday evening, 6 o'clock, something like that.
I found out when I was walking home from work.
Yeah, Friday at late in the afternoon, early evening. The unfortunately.
I mean, that's when I found. I mean, my girlfriend sent me.
Well,
the link.
when you sent it to me is when I found out. But
And she sent it to me like a minute before I sent it to you.
Yeah, but the wrestling world lost, unfortunately, beyond a shadow of a doubt, one of the biggest icons in the history of wrestling. Easily the biggest villain in the history of wrestling.
I mean, it's just to give an example. I like my grandma would always talk to me and mention like that's one of the wrestlers that she knew by name,
Yeah.
that she would always talk about from the time I got into wrestling 20 years ago. And I told her the news when I got home on Friday, and she was shocked. And she just remembers how great of like how much of a heel he was back in the day. And then later in the evening, I told my girlfriend's grandmother, and she was like, "Ah, era tan sucio," like, and to translate, he was so dirty. And I'm like, that's fucking awesome that he had that kind of heel heat, which was his job, you know. So that's pretty
And
awesome.
he did his job very, very well. Roddy, I think,
just that
and
I
it was
mean, just that he's
it was
transcended.
touched on in not just his DVD, but in that rivalry special that they did with him and Hogan. That he took his job very, very seriously.
Mm-hmm.
That was touched on, and Hogan always says, he let his guard down a little bit, blah blah blah, but I really always thought that as a worker, Roddy never got his due.
Yeah.
I always felt that as a fan, that as a worker he never got his due. Case in point, the match he did with Brett at WrestleMania 8,
Yeah,
there's
it was a
that.
really good match.
The second time, at least the second televised time, that he wrestled Flair. They wrestled one time, and I'm going to say they wrestled WCW Bash at the Beach, which is the one with Hogan and Rodman. Is that 97?
Rodman did 2 Bash at the Beaches.
Is that the 97 one?
And 98.
The first one?
97 was
Hogan and Rodman versus Luger and Giant.
And Giant.
Yeah,
that was 97,
on
because
that
98
show,
was the one with Malone.
On that show, they did Piper and Flair, where Piper won this time around, and it was with the Horsemen, and it really cost Flair the match. But that match was super phenomenal. Probably one of those sleeper matches of the evening. So it's just it's a shame that as a worker he never really got his credit. Not to mention a match that, if you want to do hardcore and you've never seen the dog collar match, then there's something wrong with you. With Valentine at the inaugural start, and what a lot of people don't know is on top of being an Intercontinental Champion, Roddy was a tag team champion in multiple promotions. He was, in fact, a United States champion. He beat Valentine for the U.S. title. People, when they do talk about the dog collar match, they leave out the fact that the U.S. title is, in fact, on the line.
Well, I guess because he didn't really hold a title in WWE until he had the Intercontinental title.
Well, he was one of those guys that transcended the belt, though.
Yeah, and then he won the tag titles in 2006
with Flair. Which was like, for me, that was amazing. I remember seeing that, and I thought that was the coolest thing, that those two guys at that age were able to be the tag team champions. While match-wise it was whatever, promo-wise, and just seeing them having a great time always transcended to the camera.
Yeah.
And I don't know about you. I mean, well, we spoke about this before we were on the air, but I'm very bummed out that we're not going to have the chance to meet him, selfishly,
Oh, I mean, I think that's the first thing that hit me is I already... fuck is that noise?
I'm not sure.
Skype. I don't know who the fuck is hitting us up on Skype.
Is it Jay?
Who is this?
Can we answer?
DeLuise.
Can we answer? I'll answer.
Somebody wrote Papi Rico, ¿qué pasa?
Can we call her out? Can we call her? Can we
From DeLuise Malden.
I don't know.
What the fuck is this? We can add afterward then, talking about Piper.
Okay.
I mean, like I said, I pre-ordered for the big event. I was going to have him sign the kilt that I wore on Halloween. And, I mean, he's one of those guys, like, he was at the top of my list of people that I wanted to meet. And I feel like we kept missing him because there was the one big event where he was at the casino in Queens because he canceled the big event. And
that was the day of the big event, right? That he actually, that he was honoring his first booking, right?
Yeah, and this big event, he was at the Big Apple Comic Con, and I know we were busy that day and we weren't able to go afterwards, and it's like, shit, like
we were getting closer and closer, and then when he finally got announced for this show, we were.
Then I remember how excited I was when I first saw that they posted that he was going to be there, and I hit you up like, shit, yeah, he's finally going to be there. We're finally going to meet him, and like even. There was remember that wrestling film festival 2 years back that I went to and saw a few movies at, like Seder Mania and Barbed Wire.
Right.
They had a screening of Zombie versus Wrestlers that night, and I was like, it doesn't look that interesting. and he did a surprise appearance that night
and
at the theater.
And you were like a kid in a candy store, which I would have been too.
And I was like, shit, I missed it.
Oh, that's right, because you left early. That's right.
Yeah, and I wasn't interested in seeing that Wrestler versus Zombie movie. And then when I saw later in the day on Instagram that he popped up, and I was like, well, fuck. And I'm not sure if he did. I don't think he did WrestleCon the year that Mania was in New York, in Jersey, because I definitely would have met him there.
No, he did not, but he did do it in New Orleans.
Okay.
He was at WrestleCon in New Orleans, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure he was.
So I'm pretty bummed out. Just 3.5 months away from finally meeting him.
Yeah.
And that was like the biggest draw for me to even go to that big event.
Yeah, and then the other thing was that
and like I know they were going to do the Piper's Pit.
We were going to do the Piper's Pit package, right?
And we were going to do that one together in the pit with him.
Yeah, and then a lot of the kids that are training right now at Ace had already met him and shared stories with him, so I was even more excited to go ahead and meet him, because they were saying how sweet he is and how he takes time to talk to everybody.
I mean, he comes across really sweet, just like listening to him on his podcast, although he would ramble at times.
And one of the most respected guys ever in the business,
And it's crazy, because I feel like if we would have done an episode between our last episode and now, we probably would have been heavily covering the whole ordeal with him in Austin and WWE and Podcast One.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really know exactly what happened with that. Real quick, I just want to know, what I do know is it correct. So apparently, Inappropriate Earl and Piper had Will Sasso on. Will Sasso.
I actually never heard I never heard that episode.
But Will Sasso was on. He did an Austin impersonation, and Austin got offended, right?
But I don't know. I mean, I haven't heard it, so I can't really comment on it.
That's what I know of. And then
he's done an Austin impression on Raw.
Yeah, he did it on Raw back in 2002. I think Austin ended up stunning him too.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know what the whole deal was. I mean, I know Austin's doing his podcast tomorrow with Paige.
That's because it was supposed to be Hogan. I read today.
I believe so.
It was supposed to, in fact, be Hogan. And it's funny because last week when I landed and I got to see Raw, I was like, oh, all right, they're gonna do another Austin podcast, and I was like, oh, this has got to be the Taker or Hogan, Taker or Hogan, and I was like, oh.
I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if they did
Taker.
I mean, I wouldn't have been surprised if it was Taker to build SummerSlam.
I really thought that it was going to be Taker.
I mean, I feel like they're going to save Taker till after Mania. I don't know, maybe to get those post-Mania subscriptions in April or whatever.
Okay.
I don't know, I'm not sure.
True.
Or maybe leading into Mania. I don't know.
I could see it. I could see it, but at the same, I don't know.
I mean, I guess I still wanted to talk about Piper, unless you want to go back and talk about him before the show ends.
Well, we'll definitely wrap with Piper, but definitely the wrestling world truly, the wrestling world lost one of the good ones, this week.
Yeah.
It's so unfortunate. My heart goes out to his son Colt, who had a tremendous relationship with his dad.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would hear him when he had his old podcast, he would have Colt on there with him, and you can see, and just even the wife swap episode he did with Flair, you can see how
you saw how tight they were, and
and even on his documentary on the DVD, they focus on his family, but you can see it on Wife Swap, you can see it when you can tell how much he loved them. As crazy as his character was, he seemed like he was the complete opposite when he was outside of the ring. And
he was a big family man, and he always says, I had to do what I had to do to provide for my family. I was on the road all that time to provide for my family. So while he made the sacrifice, as soon as his career was winding down, he really took it upon himself to honor his family and his kids, and God bless him.
Well, same thing with Warrior, just seeing how close he was with his daughters and Dusty, and it just sucks. I know as fans we're selfish. It's natural. We'll take it in a selfish way, and we'll be sad because we missed them. But it's you also got to think of their family who.
Yeah, and his wife, forget it. His wife and him have been married almost over 30 years, I believe.
And it's okay, we got to see them all the time on TV, but their families didn't have them around as much, and now they lose them, and it does suck.
It's unfortunate, and the fact that we're still, the wrestling world is still really mourning the loss of Dusty Rhodes.
Yeah.
So to then, have to
Piper.
Yeah, Piper. Really.
And I know we discussed, I can't see them not honoring him the way they did Dusty and Warrior on the network.
Well, nothing's been announced yet, and the last thing that I read was they didn't know if they were going to do the Austin show. I figured, because they flew Austin in, and Austin already, put on Instagram that he was writing questions for tomorrow. So I guess even tomorrow, I thought Austin would already be there. You know, I guess Hyper Week would start Tuesday. You know, they're definitely going to do the tribute at the opening of Raw.
Oh,
You know,
they already did it at the house shows.
yeah, they're definitely going to do the 10-bell salute and an opening package of some sort and the graphic. And then you got to believe that from Tuesday to Sunday, it's going to be Piper Week.
I mean, even if it's like short, even I know Dusty they didn't do anything till like the following week. So even if they do it next week,
I mean, honestly,
they can play the document. I mean, I don't think the documentary is on the network.
His DVD, yes, it is.
Oh, okay, I
His
couldn't.
DVD is on the network, but you know, not to sound mean or anything, but he just passed. You know, capitalize on the momentum. And considering all the success the network had this week, why wouldn't you go in there and take advantage? You know, you already have the DVD on there. I'm sure
you have all the pits, you have his matches, you have documentary.
All the pits, his matches. You can easily do a Q&A session with like Flair, Brett, and another person with
maybe
me,
Slaughter,
Slaughter or J.J. Dillon would actually be good on that. Or even like Bob Orton. You know, Bob Orton would be good as well. Valentine, you know, who was very easy to get a hold of. You know, there's tons of stuff they can do. You know, too bad we don't work programming because they would have never had to worry about any of this stuff. You know, but that's just me. But it's unfortunate, you know. And then that's one of those things that really happened out of nowhere. I'm glad that it wasn't from the cancer because when I read that, I was
that's what I first thought. I think that's what we first thought.
Yeah, because TMZ reported that, and
I think they assumed because he had it a decade ago.
Well, they were the ones that when he was smoking the marijuana, the medicinal marijuana, they were the ones that leaked it. So I think that's what they just went from there. Because TMZ, let's just say, they really have the habit of blabbing the first thing that they hear, whether it's right or wrong. You know, and I'm huge fans of this. I am. I watch religiously the show with Harvey and everything. But you know, let's say what it is that they do here. You know, but definitely gonna miss Roddy Piper, and I'm sure we'll be talking more on him as the show progresses here. And the next topic we're going to get into here on the show, let's get right to it. Let's be realistic here. Hulk Hogan. I was away, and the world was turned upside down. Please explain the situation to those who have been living under a rock.
Okay. I woke up Friday morning, and at first I heard that Hogan was removed from everything, WWE.com, merchandise. So I wasn't sure if it was true, so I went, I double-checked.
So when he was removed, you had no idea what it was yet?
His profile was from the alumni in the Hall of Fame. His merchandise wasn't available. And then I heard rumblings of it being a racist rant, but I didn't know what the hell it was yet. And then the first thing it came up was that clip that I sent you of him talking about Booker T, and I listened to it. I was like, okay, he's saying the N-word and joking around, but
I didn't even hear that clip, to be honest with you. I didn't even know that.
I mean, he was pretty much just like, oh, I would use the N-word just joking around with my black friends, and I used to call people brother because I would forget their name. It was interview. It wasn't anything bad.
Okay.
I mean, it wasn't anything, like, not to the extent of what eventually came out, like, maybe like an hour later. I read the transcript of the stuff he was saying about Brooke. I guess her,
affinity for dating black guys? I don't know.
Or dating the son of a record executive.
Right.
Using the N-word a lot and just...
And what was this that he made comments about Jamie Foxx? What was that?
That was the one line that nobody really knew what the hell he was talking about.
And also about another African-American real estate mogul, right? That he could have flipped his Vegas home for $5 million.
And this is all taking place in the sex tape.
In the sex tape, and also years ago.
Yeah, this was 2006, 2007, so about almost a decade.
Yeah, not too long after his son's act.
So, just reading those, it wasn't. The stuff that he was saying, it was
completely
really
out of
offensive.
line.
Yeah, and it's like.
But I think what certain people like Kamala and Dwayne Johnson have touched on is that what you say in a private arena, whether it's right or wrong, you feel comfortable to say it because it's a private arena. So again, regardless of it being right or wrong, you're in a situation where you feel comfortable, where you feel safe enough to say whatever you want, no matter how someone else feels about it. That it's tough. So, and I'm not justifying what he said. I'm not trying to justify what he said, but he probably said those things because he felt like he was in a safe environment. Because let's be honest here. He said those things. First of all, he said it on the sex tape, right? The sex tape had to be examined because they're doing the investigation about it. So that was going to come out no matter what. So then, of course, the media's going to go ahead and dig into whatever they can find. What's public record? So they go right into the audio tapes with his son at the prison, and they luckily hit a jackpot and got him making those comments again. So, again, not justifying what he said, but I'm sure he was not expecting. And you know what? I'm sure he even forgot that he said those things, to be honest with you. Because here's a guy who flips things around, who was going to be the guitarist for Metallica and all this other stuff, and he made those comments probably trying to entertain himself or his son or his friend, and he probably doesn't even remember them, to be honest. That's my take on it. I mean, what do you think?
I mean, it's a tough situation just because he's such an icon. I mean, as tragic as the Benoit situation was, and this is nowhere near that tragic, but he's such a big name that it is a big deal. So many people did look up to him, and then it's like I can only imagine African American kids or adults that grew up watching him and how they may feel about this. I don't know. It's just it's a weird situation. Just I guess it hit close to home. It's my daughter, and she's half African American, and that word has been used towards her in the past, and I have not reacted well to that. And I guess I don't know. It's been a crazy week in wrestling.
Yeah, the most shocking thing is that many fans have come to terms with the fact that it's not that he never existed, but that he's definitely gone. I think that transition's happened fast for everybody.
I mean, he seems to not be bothered by it.
I don't think he's not bothered by it.
Or not bothered by it, but or maybe just oblivious to it.
No, I don't think he's oblivious. Dude, he got erased from wrestling this week. He's not fucking oblivious from it.
I mean, but he's still he's retweeting crazy shit, or people supporting him, or people making fake rapper Twitter names just to show support, and he's retweeting it thinking it's Drake or other rappers.
Well, I mean,
he posted pictures with Mike Tyson 2 days ago, saying that I guess it was the day Piper passed, and posting pictures with Mike Tyson that night, and then I saw another set of pictures with African American fans, and it was okay, and then or the whole Obama tweet where why is it okay for Obama to use the N-word but not him? So I mean, I think the moment that happened, the same way WWE deleted him, he should have deleted his damn Twitter account and just stayed out of the public eye for a couple months and just kind of lay low. But he hasn't laid low, and I think that's I feel like doing the shit that he's been doing the last week has just added fuel to the fire rather than just kind of staying out of the way and keeping low key.
Yeah, I think that's really what he's doing.
I mean, which most celebrities do when they get in trouble. A couple months ago when the whole John Jones thing happened, nobody's heard from him since, and I feel like when celebrities do shit, it's best for them to stay, that's what PR is for, to make sure they keep a low profile till things cool down.
Right.
And I think he hasn't given it a chance to cool down, or he hasn't let this whole situation even breathe, because that same day he was already talking. I think he should have just maybe laid low for a bit.
Well, he was already trying to defend himself.
But he's doing it the wrong way by retweeting, supporting him, or
because he sees it as, I know I'm not that person, and anybody that is listening on this ride. Do I think he's a racist? No. Do I think he should have been smarter in making his derogatory comment? Yes, because quite frankly, he should not have made such remarks. What he said was wrong and unacceptable. But at the same time, he definitely faked.
I mean, I guess time will tell. I mean, it's tough to tell how he'll recover from this, or how the situation will be a year or two from now.
So you want to do a podcast?
Yeah, that's the plan.
What do you want it to be about? Flowers? Bumblebees?
Like a wrestling podcast.
Right here, baby, on the mothership Saturday night. American Dream does the rule.
Where's Tommy?
Tommy, baby.
Tommy.
Tommy who, man? Tommy Rich? Wi-Fi, baby.
No, not that one.
This thing on.
You're a bully. You don't know what you're talking about.
I didn't know Vince was here. Oh, man.
Oh, man, this thing has gone off the rails. It has gone off the rails big time.
This isn't the podcast, man. This is just a meeting about having a podcast. The Dark Match Wrestling Podcast is available on StuffDudesLike.com, iTunes, Stitcher, and anywhere you can download your podcasts.
Yeah, I heard of it.
All right. Yeah, like I was saying, I mean, is there any way possible to? I mean, I mean, WWE is also in a situation where they are a publicly traded company, and they do have stockholders to answer to, and bringing him back would just cause so many issues and questions, and stockholders questioning why they brought him back.
Especially, you got to figure the rate of success the network is going to be by that time.
Yeah.
That's definitely another reason why they're not going to be able to bring him back anytime soon. I see them out of, not desperation, but to help with, the WrestleMania buys, maybe caving and bringing him back. You figure it's a year from now, and if anybody's going to get forgiveness at WrestleMania, it's going to be him.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're going to, it is in Texas. There may be some nasty chance.
Yeah.
I don't know. Only time will tell on the on the Hulkster, man. It's really an unfortunate deal.
Yeah.
It really is. We go on now to another topic here that's been going on quite a bit, and that is SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Let's bring everybody up to speed a little bit, including myself. So the Undertaker is back, and he's looking to, the Grim Reaper rather has risen,
Mm-hmm.
and he's looking to rectify
Yeah.
his loss at WrestleMania. Your thoughts?
I'm actually enjoying it. They weren't on Raw this week, but they were last week. The pull apart was awesome. And I like that it's different from the Undertaker we've seen the last 5 years. Because I feel like the last couple of years it's just been, hey, I want to break the streak. I challenge you to WrestleMania. And then Undertaker comes out. He doesn't say much. And then we get the
Yeah,
match.
I'm glad he did a promo that next night instead of something else.
Yes.
Sometimes they come up with some stupid.
I feel like even the build for the Punk match with the whole Paul Bearer stuff, that might have been the most physical he got. Or then the time he stabbed Brock in the hand, but I feel like
the stuff he did with Punk was the most physical he'd ever been in an angle since maybe what was before?
Because even for the Shawn and Hunter matches, he never really got physical before.
No, who was before the first Shawn Michaels match?
Edge.
Edge got 24.
They had a feud going for like a year by then.
Since WrestleMania 24, yeah.
And I think it's pretty cool that, just to see that side of Taker, like the aggressive side that we haven't seen in so long. So, I'm looking forward to it. I know it'll be your second time seeing them fight, but, I think they're really going to try to top, because their match wasn't that good.
No.
So I feel like they really want to go and outdo themselves and have a great match to make up for that. And, it'll probably be our last chance to see him wrestle. Unless by the grace of God we make it to Mania next year, but
I don't see why not. No matter how we get, I don't see why not make it to Mania.
Yeah. But it'll be probably the last time he wrestles out here in the Northeast or in New York.
For SummerSlam, yeah, that's probably one of his last times for sure.
Yeah, I know he's doing a few dates in Mexico.
Yeah, he's on the Mexico tour, and they put Brock on 2 of the house shows. So
he's doing the Garden House show, and
he's doing the Garden House show.
So is Jericho.
Mm-hmm. I wonder who they're going to get to wrestle.
Yeah.
Well, Brock will get another squash, you figure.
Jericho said he's celebrating. That'll be his 25th anniversary of his debut.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's gotta steal the show then.
Yeah.
Not even that, he's gonna probably.
So, we also have, looks like, they're building Cena and Rollins.
Oddly enough, and I heard a rumor that Kevin Dunn does not like Kevin Steen. That's why he's back in the big card.
I have no idea.
Yeah, that was something that was informed to me by.
It looks like he's going to be facing Cesaro at SummerSlam, which should be an awesome match. I can see them opening the show.
Oh yeah, they're definitely going to be a very hard act to follow.
They also announced this week that SummerSlam is going to be 4 hours.
Which doesn't surprise me. That's been planned for years.
I got the email notification from Barclays and from Ticketmaster that the time would be changing from the time that's on our tickets. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be a fun show.
Yeah, SummerSlam this year.
It'll complete my big 4.
I am still one more short.
Survivor Series.
Survivor Series. Yep. This is my first SummerSlam, so yeah, I would only need Survivor Series.
You can take one of my Survivor Series.
Okay. I mean, you've only been to, like, how many?
2.
Yeah, I'll take one of them.
You can take 2011.
No.
I'm not giving you Chamber.
All right, I'll take 2011.
you got The Rock's return and CM Punk's title win. You really gonna take Sean's last title victory from me? Come on.
All right, I'll take the CM Punk one because I do fairly enjoy it, and that means I have Howard Finkel. So
Yes. See?
I'll take it.
And you get Zack Ryder chance.
And Zack Ryder chance over as hell.
What other match? What do you see them doing with the Divas? Because the Divas division is really strong now that they bought up the 3 girls from NXT.
They're very strong, definitely. And
what do you see happening? I mean, right now there's three women teams, so it's 9 divas you're working with. Unless they find a way to get like Tamina and Alicia out of there.
Or they can just do a match, 3-on-3, and if the NXT Divas win, they're automatically on the roster or something like that.
I mean, but they're already on the roster.
They could be on the roster just as Angle Boss. They could be going right back.
If they have that many, if they have that much time on the show, maybe do like a gauntlet for the title.
I mean, I'm indecisive.
It's tough when you're working with 9 divas without leaving anybody out.
You can't leave anybody out, and then you've already centered it around 3 to 5 women, so it's hard to even get somebody else in.
Yeah.
I'm glad it's not going to be a battle royal, but I would be
because right now
Charlotte's
you've got Charlotte shining on one team, you got Sasha shining on the other team, and then that kind of leaves Paige and Naomi behind.
Right.
Then there's Becky, who has gotten a little bit of shine, and then on Team Bella you have Nikki, who's the champion, and then you got Brie and Alicia, who are just there as her backup or to take the pinfalls.
Wow.
I mean, I'm not sure when Nikki's gonna reach the amount of days that AJ's held the belt for her to finally lose it, because I'm pretty sure that's what they're doing. So, I mean, unless they find unless they do like a 3-team thing at SummerSlam just to prolong her losing the belt, and then maybe she drops it to Charlotte or Sasha at Night of Champions, because I think by then she'll be, I don't know how many by then, but maybe by Night of Champions she'll surpass AJ.
Yeah, I do that, but...
Or maybe whoever gets the pinfall in the
whoever gets
match.
the pinfall would get the match, yeah. That's my logic. But right now, the biggest draw is Taker Brock, which are going to main event. So it's going to be a fun show, and I'm excited we're going.
Yeah. What else is going on? There's the whole Shield Wyatts thing.
Which will no longer feature Sting.
Apparently.
I'm happy about that.
So it's just a tag match?
Yeah, it would just be a tag match, a regular one, a 2-on-2, and it looks like Adam Rose is not going to be joining the faction.
No, it looks like he's a tag team with Brad Maddox. What are they? Beef Squad or something? Hot Beef? I don't know. I'm not sure what other programs are going into SummerSlam.
Okay.
So, unless they're doing anything with Sheamus and Orton.
Sheamus and Orton, either that or Steen.
Well, he's probably going to be facing Cesaro.
Oh, duh, we touched on that.
Yeah.
The Cesaro and, not Cesaro, Steen and Randy Orton was really, really good on Raw.
Yeah, they had a really good match.
But let's real quick, just because we're about to definitely shift topics, let's talk about the broken nose.
That was pretty nuts.
Yeah, that was pretty intense. That was with the jumping knee to the face, right?
Yep.
Yeah, that was just, forget it.
I know he had to get emergency surgery. Is he out for any amount of time?
I believe it was a month. It was a month to 2 months.
So is he not working SummerSlam?
Well, he's advertised for everything but SummerSlam going forward.
Oh, okay. So
That much I do know.
I guess hypothetically, what do you do if he...
Hey, For Life listeners, this is The Cap here with Mike the Finance Guy and Ralph the Tech, inviting you to check out our Geektastic podcast, Meanwhile, 22 Pages Later.
So if you're a Whovian, a lover of capes and tights, a gamer, or a TV movie watcher, and you want some very honest reviews from some very funny guys,
check out our podcast. It's on iTunes and also on SoundCloud. And if you want to join in the discussion, check out our Facebook page. Oh, and by the way, that 22 is the number.
Now, back to Bosch and Cheyenne.
Ace Rollins at SummerSlam.
I honestly see him getting the medical clearance. I genuinely don't see Cena not
doing it.
Yeah, I don't see it. I don't see the guy not being a part of it.
Yeah. I guess early predictions for the top 2 matches. Who do you see winning those 2 main events?
Well, I don't know. It's going to be tough.
Yeah.
It's going to be tough. Just think about it, because I just can't picture him not being there.
Yeah.
I just can't picture him not being there, honestly. It's going to be interesting.
One of those like face guards.
And he's not interested. He's not advertised for tomorrow night's Raw, so they'll probably just do the whole video package thing.
Yeah.
I think they're going to address the injury. They kind of have to. And if they wanted to go home,
they were really like putting it over and playing it up at the end of Raw.
Yeah,
just like how tough he was finishing the match, and JBL.
Yeah, the finish of the match.
Son of a bitch.
Yeah, the finish of the match really, launched Cena with all the endorsements from the table. Yeah. But I don't see him not being a part of SummerSlam. Maybe he will wear a protective mask, like you mentioned, but he's not advertised for anything else until then.
Also, I think, are they building Stardust and that guy from the Arrow?
It looks like they are going to go through with it, but I wouldn't hold my breath because,
I mean, they've really been pushing it, like, at least on Twitter, like with the back and forth tweets.
And WWE is starting to get into it too. So
yeah.
I do think something's in the works amongst them.
Yeah.
But it's not going to be a match. Everybody knows that.
Unless he's like in the corner of Neville.
Yeah, I think it's going to be a thing where it's Stardust and Neville opening SummerSlam maybe, or pre-show, and they're gonna be doing celebrities.
Yeah.
Is Arrow shot here or in California?
I have no idea.
Yeah, they're definitely going to need... I know Arrow has, in fact, been shot in New York before. I don't know where it is shot, solely. But, they're definitely going to need celebrities for SummerSlam. They're using that LA advantage. So they definitely got to get some local celebs from here and there.
Probably a musical performance.
Probably a musical performance. If it's going to be anything like Mania, there'll be 6. But I definitely at least 1.
Yeah.
And as long as it's not CeeLo Green again, we'll be all right. We'll be all right.
Yeah.
So I'm looking forward to SummerSlam. I'm looking at Jim Ross's show. I'm looking forward to the whole weekend. It's going to be thebomb.com.
Yeah.
Tell me about the G1 climax out in Japan, and educate the young folks on what it is.
All right. I've actually been keeping up with it. I think I have 2 matches left from this morning's show. I was going to watch them during the podcast, but I didn't want to be distracted.
Okay.
But it's been pretty good so far. Pretty much, you can watch it on New Japan World. In the past, it's been like $120 to $150 because if you order each show, that's how much it comes out to. And I feel like now with the New Japan World, it's kind of like the network where it's $9.99 yen. I think it comes out to about like $12 American. So it's a round robin tournament. There's the A block and the B block. There's 10 guys in each block. They all face each other, and then you get 2 points for winning, 1 point for a draw, and at the end the 2 winners face each other. So right now they just finished night 9. Let me check. I have the list here in my phone. So yeah, they finished night 9. Right now in the A block, In the lead right now is Shibata with 8 points.
Okay.
Then you have Naito, Ibushi, AJ Styles, and Bad Luck Fale with 6 points. Makabe with 4 points, and then Tenzan, Yano, and Gallows with 2 points. I'm not sure what the results are of the last 2 matches, so the B block right now you have Okada, Ishii, and Anderson with 6.
Okay. What is the B block?
The B block is they just separated it by 2 different groups.
Oh, I thought the way you worded it, I thought it was like a tandem or something like that. Okay,
No.
okay. Now they're in the second half of the round robin. Got it.
Yeah. I mean, and they separated, so one night is the A block, the other night is the B block, and then they alternate. So
yeah, well, the B block is the redemption half, and then the...
no, it's just a different set of guys.
Oh, right, I forgot. They have, 18, so it's Tournament 1, Tournament 2.
It's
and
20
those
guys, yeah.
Yeah, I forget. It's the 2 winners of each half.
Yeah.
I remember. I keep forgetting that.
So you have Anderson, Ishii, Okada, and Goto with 6. Nakamura, Elgin, and Yujiro with 4.
Oh.
Kojima and Nagata with 2, and Hamna with 0.
And when does it end again?
The last show is... The finals are Sunday, August 16th, so the week before SummerSlam.
Okay.
So there's still a few shows left. They're about halfway through now.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's been pretty good. There's been some really good matches, some matches that aren't as good, but it's been fun to follow for the first time. And if you really want a better explanation, if you are following John Pollock from The Law, he reviews every show the day of, so he does a much better job of explaining than I do, because he's been doing it for years. What happened?
Now I gotta have him on next week.
Huh?
Now we gotta have him on.
But I mean, I'm sure he's busy covering 19 G1 shows.
Oh, okay. Never mind. Never mind.
Listen, we do an episode once every couple of months. This guy does an episode every day.
Yeah, he's actually hustling.
Yeah. So, I mean, he's hosted Jim Ross's show when they did it in Toronto and Mania weekend.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think JR had him on his show a few weeks ago.
Uh-huh.
So, it's been fun to follow. Right now, I'm hoping for Nakamura and AJ in the finals, but guys like Shibata and Ibushi and Naito have also been impressing me, so... I mean, I came in not being familiar with a lot of these guys, and I feel like as I'm watching, I've become a lot more familiar with more of these guys.
Yeah, I gotta use your account and make my own.
Yeah, I mean, despite not knowing the language, I've been able to follow it, and I mean, there was a few shows where it was a 1-camera shoot from the hard cam, and those were tough to watch, but
they've always for most of their filming, they've done 1-camera shoot.
I mean, but other shows when they have multiple cameras, those are really good to watch. And I mean, I'm glad that I'm becoming more familiar with a lot of these guys and becoming fans of these guys.
Yeah.
And I feel like I said, despite not knowing the language, I feel like they're so good and they're expressive that I know what their characters are and what they're trying to do. Like this guy Naito, he was a babyface, but they just turned him heel, and he's a really an asshole heel, and he does even when he comes out, he wears a suit with the silver skull mask, and he takes 5 minutes to remove all his shit before the match.
He's got a good presentation.
Yeah, he takes 5 minutes to remove all his shit before the match, and he's got a strange style, but it works. And then this other guy Shibata, he kind of looks like Hideo Itami, but just a taller version of him. But he's got that serious, strong style, kind of like a Benoit, where it's just when he's hitting people, it looks fucking brutal.
And that's not easy to do.
Yeah, so he had a really good match with Ibushi a couple days ago. I might just send that match to you. I found it on Dailymotion.
Speaking of finding matches, I'm finding out that the ceremony to induct Jeff Jarrett finally went on the air.
Yeah.
So him and Kurt didn't have any interaction?
Did you see that video I sent you?
Yeah, but it only goes up to when he shakes Bobby Roode's hand. That's the first person he meets on the ramp, right?
Oh, by the time he makes it to the ramp, Angle was gone.
So when did they hug?
Who?
Angle and Jeff.
They didn't. No, what I was showing you was as Jarrett was leaving the ring, all the guys came out, and Angle was on the stage clapping, and then the camera goes back to Jeff, and by the time the camera goes back around to the stage, Angle was gone.
Oh, I thought that you were showing me them hugging because
No, I was showing you that Angle was gone by the time he made it.
I saw a photo of the two of them hugging.
Oh, I didn't see that.
And I thought it was going to air on television.
No, by the time he made it back up there, Angle was gone.
Oh, wow. I just saw it this week.
I thought he gave a really good speech. The video package they put together for him was really good.
Uh-huh.
It's just like watching it, it's like, this Hall of Fame doesn't mean shit.
Oh, well, no. It's for
I mean,
show,
the fact that it was just an
ratings, and it doesn't
in-ring...
do either one.
I mean, the fact that it was just an in-ring promo, or just him in the ring talking, like, it didn't feel like a Hall of Fame, or there wasn't a podium.
Yeah, Stig.
You know?
Stig got an actual ceremony.
Yeah, so I thought they could have at least done that to make it feel like it was a Hall of Fame rather than just a promo or like a retirement speech. I mean, it wasn't a retirement speech, but like that's the closest thing I could relate it to.
So relate it to, yeah.
Just him coming out and I thought the speech was good, and like I said, the video was good. It didn't feel important at all. I mean, I think Jarrett did a good job at. He was emotional during the speech, and it did seem important to him.
Well, I don't think that door in his life got closed, and I don't think he ever thought it was going to be, and then he had the opportunity. So, rightfully so, and he got to see, his creation at the point that it is. So he probably cried because of that, and it's fucking horrendous.
Yeah.
But I'm sure it may not have looked cool or legitimate. But I'm sure.
I kind of gave up on the product, but I saw that it was a Hall of Fame, so I was like, let me just check it out so I can talk about it on the show.
Yeah.
The company's going to shit when Matt Hardy is the #1 contender for the title.
Why?
Exactly.
Isn't he like 45?
When everybody's going to fucking Global Force.
Yeah, gotta put it on somebody because he'll definitely go.
But I think I think Jarrett's gonna turn heel, and they're starting at GFW versus TNA.
Yeah, I've been reading like the spoilers of they're starting with TNA.
And I believe it's gonna lead into like a big match for ownership of the company.
Okay.
So yeah. Bully Ray was on this week's episode, so I don't know how many episodes he filmed his 2 days he was back with the company.
I believe he's already wrapped up with them, but don't quote me on that.
He wrapped up. Austin Aries was on next week's episode too.
Yeah, James Storm just finished up with them also.
Yeah, James Storm and Serena faced Magnus and Mickey. The match wasn't that good. I ended up fast forwarding through most of the show. But, yeah, I kind of given up on TNA.
As has TNA. As did Jeff Jarrett. That's why you gotta watch Melissa Wrestling.
Yeah.
Let's briefly, as we're winding a bit, this Meek Mill Undertaker thing, what is nonsense about? I heard some of it, and it's...
Drake and Meek Mill, I wasn't even too familiar with Meek Mill prior to this. I just know he's dating Nicki Minaj.
Right.
He started talking shit about Drake. Drake put out a diss record, and then Meek Mill responded with his own diss record, but it sampled The Undertaker's entrance music, and WWE apparently wasn't happy about it. And the song did suck, and I couldn't understand what he was saying. At least when Wale sampled Razor Ramon's entrance music, it was actually a pretty good song, and he referenced wrestling, and it was a tribute to wrestling. Because he's a fan. And there was another rapper that did the Wyatt song, but I just felt like it was, I don't know, I wasn't too crazy about it. There's not much else to say. I guess if WWE does plan on suing him, we can cover that, but as of now, I haven't heard anything.
Now we got to bring up the. We just covered those things. Now we got to bring up quickly on the network. How's it been?
I thought it was pretty good. I got the DVD, the Blu-ray the day it came out. The documentary was pretty good. I know they had the preview on Monday night. Then they did another kind of like round table thing. I mean, it was shot from the footage in the documentary, but they did like a backstage thing where they're all like hanging out backstage talking for like a half hour. I thought that was pretty good. Seemed a little forced at times, and I mean, it seemed weird when they were plugging a network a few times, but other than that, I thought it was pretty cool. They did like a little documentary for Nash. It was like,
how was that?
I thought it was pretty good. It was only like a half hour long.
Oh, that's kind
but it was like leading into his Hall of Fame induction, but then like showing stuff from his career, his early WCW days, then coming to WWE, and then NWO, and
right.
Back in
so
WWE.
It's the DVD we're waiting for, but it's got it.
Yeah. So, I mean, one interesting note was that they managed to, I don't know when it was edited, but they managed to not show Hogan's face at all in that documentary with the NWO stuff. I don't know if that was a coincidence and it was edited prior to the Hogan thing, but they just didn't want to focus on him, but I just found it weird that Hogan's face wasn't even shown.
I really. Let's real quick touch on the WWE stocks. I want to ask something. We brought up the Kevin Nash special, and you said it was only about 30 minutes long, right?
Yeah.
Are they wrong in doing like documentary titles for superstars strictly on the network? What I mean, like the full 90-minute one as a network exclusive?
I mean, maybe they can see what the reaction is to those, and maybe make longer ones for the DVD release. Kind of. I mean, they did a half-hour one for Booker T that was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe they're just testing the waters with these guys and seeing what the reaction is to them before they go and put their money into making a longer one. I mean, maybe with guys like Nash and Booker, they know that, I mean, they're popular, but they're not sure how their DVD sales might do if they were to produce those, you know?
Oh, I don't know. It's,
I mean, maybe they just see it as if they get a positive reaction, then we can put it on a DVD with a bunch of matches and it'll sell.
You know, that's just me, but the network programming, they've almost got it down to a science. You know, they're I'm telling you, like, every year, things are going to change. It's going to be like $40 a share. And we're really not going to make any money off the drink. Well, by the way, if anyone want to follow us on Twitter, how will they do that?
I'm at I am the Bosch Man.
And if they wanted to find the website itself on the internet, how would they do that?
www.forlifepodcast.com.
And if they want to get us on the Facebook, how would they do that as well?
Facebook.com/forlifepodcast, or Twitter at forlifepodcast, or Instagram at forlifepodcast. And special thank you to Instagram for I don't know how they botched this, but somehow I think they notified all my Facebook friends that that's my personal account, so all of my friends have been adding the For Life Podcast account. I
told you that's a brilliant mistake because we're getting a better following now. That's a brilliant mistake. Screw it. We need the damn numbers, man. Yeah, I mean, I think they're finally getting to a sentence. Did you read the report that they might do the house show from the Garden live?
I think that'd be pretty cool.
That'd be awesome. It hasn't been done since that '97 show that's on the network. But they're considering doing that show live and possibly Bash at the Beach, obviously, is a hot topic to speak about.
Yeah, I mean, when would they have Bash at the Beach? The summer's almost over.
They have to do maybe brunch at the lake instead. For the Bash at the Beach, brunch on the lake instead, but that's just my opinion. And that's another reason, going back to Roddy real quick, you know, you could easily come up with something on your own to talk about it.
Yeah.
You know, that's just me versus flying by all these guys or going back and dead interviews, you know. He's not a guy that gets talked about on the regular, so there's probably not many recent interviews for anyone, they'd have to go with like that tribute show type deal.
Yeah.
Before we go back into Roddy Piper, to wrap things up here, if you are in the tri-state area and you love wrestling and you'd like to come to a wrestling show, next week, Saturday night, on August the 8th, at Ace Pro Wrestling, American Championship Entertainment, we are going to have Ethan Carter III, that's right, EC3, TNA World Heavyweight Champion, taking on star of Lucha Underground, Ricky Reyes. It's TNA versus Lucha Underground. First time ever. I'm excited. Wallington, New Jersey, as Ace Pro Wrestling.
Well, it's not the first time ever because the whole Hernandez situation.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. Well, first time ever on the Indie Bosh. And that's going to be August the 8th, Wallington, New Jersey, at the Morgan Jr. Arena. American Championship Entertainment presents Anarchy. You'll also have Ash Morales taking on Chris Reyes. You're going to have Stockade, the King of the Deathmatch, taking on my man Joey Adams. All that and so much more. We have a new World Heavyweight Champion in TJ Marconi. You best believe he's going to be at that show. All that and so much more as we give breaks for Ace Anarchy. Tickets in advance, $15, $20 at the door. You can go to aceprowrestling.com or contact me for further details. But it's going to be a
or
great
on
show.
4lifepodcast.com, I have it.
There it is. And, we've had, and also don't forget to like me, Shine Ortiz on Facebook on my new life page. We have had such a buzz since Marconi won the belt, and the last two shows were great. We did our Ice show yesterday, our Impact Championship Entertainment, our secondary brand, and it was a great turnout. It was a great success. So we're looking forward to more things to come. And, again, August the 8th, Ethan Carter from TNA Wrestling is going to be there. He's going to have the belt with him, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a fun show. I wish you were coming to that one. I really do.
Yeah, I have a birthday party.
Yeah, well, perfect. But, yeah, it's gonna be really, really good. And do you think they're gonna replace Piper with somebody at the convention now, or do you think they're just gonna?
They're gonna what?
Do you think they're gonna replace Piper with anyone now at the convention?
I have no idea. Unless somebody steps in, or I'm sure they're also freaking out, probably trying to get people refunds,
or maybe they're trying to just get a suitable replacement.
Yeah. It's.
Have they put any announcements on the page?
They actually, as far as from their account, they haven't mentioned anything. Like, I think they've replied to people that mentioned it. But
yeah, I saw the packages for Warlord, Barbarian, and those other two people went up. That was the last thing I saw.
Yeah, but they haven't formally announced anything. Maybe they're waiting to have something. I don't know. It's not like one of those situations where somebody just like cancels.
Well, yeah.
Like, I don't know. I don't know how many. I don't know if this has ever happened to them before, where somebody they have booked past.
Yeah, I don't. I don't. This is the first of my knowledge.
So I'm not sure. Also, I would hope that people aren't.
What, mad?
Being prick. Yeah.
No, like, how could you be upset? It's not like the guy bailed.
I saw somebody post, oh, hey, how are you guys going to handle the refunds?
Well, that's not that's a valid question.
They're not going to steal our money. They are going to refund. Like, I kind of saw it as, I'm not going to harass them. They'll get to it when they get to it. I'm sure they're just as shocked, and they're trying to probably refund everybody that did order,
Yeah, most of those guys are pretty good people. Not even most, all. They're definitely going to honor their commitment. So for those of you...
in the past with cancellations, I haven't had any issues.
Never, from any vendor.
Yeah. I have no complaints, even that time that the whole, like, the Vader thing happened and I couldn't get the Vader pick.
I was just going to bring that up.
And they were cool about it. Like, they refunded me. Last time there was a bunch of no-shows and I got all my money back for the people that didn't show up. So I have no complaints about any of those vendors. They've all been great.
Yeah,
so,
all those guys are not only professional, but they genuinely want people to continue to do business with them.
It's like, that's why I was like, you know what? And Piper wasn't being bought in by a vendor. He was being bought in by a big event.
Yeah, I totally see them.
So on top of them organizing this event and gathering people, to have to deal with this. You know, it's like, you know what? I'm gonna be patient. I'm not expecting.
Yeah, I
them to
totally see him
refund me,
bringing somebody else in order to.
or at least reaching out and trying.
Yeah, you know, and I don't think they're going to be upset if they have to get a refund. I really don't.
Oh, I mean,
they're going to lose. They're going to lose big because Piper coming to New York. A lot of people were buzzing about that, but I don't think they'll be
well, especially
upset.
because he's missed the last two big events. So everybody that has gone to the big event missed out on meeting Piper
Yeah.
at the other locations.
At the last one, there were people there that still thought he was coming. For whatever.
I mean, it wasn't advertised.
No, was that the last one?
I mean, I know Jake
Was that the
did
New York
both.
thing?
Jake did both when he the Big Apple Comic Con. Jake did both. Jake was at Big Event and at Big Apple.
Why did we not see him again? Or did we just catch him too late? And he was
Who,
already
Jake?
gone. Yeah, Jake.
Or Piper?
Jake.
Jake was at the Big Event. He was walking around.
Why do I not remember seeing him?
He was walking. He was the one guy that was like walking around like nothing, hanging out.
I do not remember.
I remember
seeing
you
him.
saying hi. You said hi to him.
Did I?
Yeah. How did you miss him? He's a couple inches taller than me.
Oh no, I know he's a big guy because I saw him in NOLA. But
You said hi to him,
did I?
Cheyenne. Yes.
I genuinely don't remember.
I distinctly remember him walking past us, and you said, "Hey, Jake, how you doing?"
Not coming to me at all. Wow. Okay. Well, yep. All right. I got nothing. I met Jake Robertson. I don't even know it. That's how starstruck I am. I met him, and I'm here thinking I want to meet him again. And I don't even know it.
Yeah.
Well, but it's gonna be an interesting time. I'm sure it'll be very sad. I don't think there's gonna be Memorial Slam by that time because it'll be November.
Oh yeah. I mean, I think it's gonna hit us
back.
again because it's gonna hit us because we know that we were supposed to meet him that
Yeah,
day.
especially us because we were so happy about that, man. We really were.
I posted on the page that they should have the Piper's Pit set up
As a
and
memorial?
let people take pictures. Yeah, and let people take pictures in it at least.
Yeah. Yeah. That's.
I don't know who was in charge of the set.
Yeah, I don't know who.
I mean, if
member was.
it's in their, I mean, if they're capable of doing. I even said like I don't know who's in charge, or if it's possible, just an idea.
Did you get a response?
I haven't even checked. I think I wrote it not too long before the show. I mean, I posted asking if Piper had like a charity or a foundation that he supported or was like a favorite of his.
He was
'Cause I
into a lot
I
of
was just-
charities, but I don't know him to have had a foundation or to be.
Or just one that was like
one.
his, or one that was his like favorite. Just if anything, I was just gonna take the money from that I put towards meeting him and just put it towards that. Just out of respect to Piper.
That's very good of you. Or honestly, just. I mean, well, I don't mean this in a negative way, but it's not like he was a quote unquote normal person. So maybe you don't want to send it to like his family.
What happened?
Well, I'm saying, how sometimes people make donations towards his family when somebody passes away.
Yeah.
I mean, the guy was a millionaire, so I don't know if you want to go that route. So, for that, you might as well give the money to Donald Trump.
Or maybe I don't know if his site is still up. Maybe I'll order something from his site, and the money goes to him. I don't know.
Have you checked his site? Maybe on his site, it'll say what charity. Because a couple of people, when they pass, they'll say, any
Just as our
donation.
family is saddened by the sudden passing of our father and beloved husband, Roderick Toombs, a.k.a. Roddy Piper, please respect our family's privacy during this difficult time. Stand for the Silent. Founded in 2010, Stand for the Silent has become one of the leading, most effective anti-bullying organizations. Our mission is simple: bring awareness to bullying and the real devastation it causes. Bullying has become an epidemic of epic proportions. This looks like it's one of his foundations. Yeah, because there's like a little video like of him with like a bunch of kids. Let me see. I'll look into it. Yeah, he's like on their homepage.
Okay, I'm actually on now myself.
Standforthesilent.org.
Oh, it looks like Piper's gonna get like.
So yeah, if you want to, I guess if you want
It
to
looks like
support
Piper's
Hot
gonna
Rod.
get a comic book.
Was he?
It says it on his. It has it on his website, Monster Killer.
Oh yeah, I see it too.
Well, now I definitely have to get the villain T-shirt.
Yeah. I mean, I can put the 50 towards one of his shirts, and then like one of the regular Hot Rod shirts and a villain shirt.
Yeah.
And maybe I'll pull out the costume this year. I mean, it sucks.
It really does, because that was really much like Dusty, like an out of nowhere death.
Yeah.
Like
I mean, it's crazy that Dusty passed 3 months after we met him, and then Piper 3 months before we were supposed to meet him.
Yeah, like I don't. It's just real unfortunate. Like, he really an icon. He lost.
I feel like we've done too many. I mean, we did the Warrior tribute. We've done Dusty. We've done Roddy.
Well, I mean,
we've also
you say that, and then something else that was to my attention was that that's very, very true. But you also got to remember is that look at the generation of wrestler they were, and look at where we are now.
Yeah.
Not to say that their time was coming or that they were old or anything.
I mean, realistically, they weren't that old.
No, absolutely not. No, none of them
61. How old was Dusty? 69?
I believe, 69.
I think Warrior was what? Early 60s also?
Yeah, Warrior about 61, 62.
Even Macho was like early 60s or late 50s.
Warrior
right?
was, Macho might not have been 60. If he was, he had to be like 61.
Yeah.
But I don't.
I mean, considering there was a time period where a bunch of wrestlers were in their 30s and 40s.
Uh-huh. Yeah,
passing.
delivering at such a level.
Like I feel like if we were doing this podcast a decade ago, it's 15 years ago.
Yeah.
When the death age was like late 30s to early 40s.
40s. I really would have had a hard time with perfect passing if we had a podcast.
Oh yeah, I mean, not counting Owen because his was an accident.
Yeah.
But as far as like Pillman was what, 35. Eddie was.
Yes, 30. Pillman was 35. Eddie was 40. 39 rather. Yeah.
I think Benoit was also 39 or 40.
39. I don't think he was 40. I think he was a few days shy.
I think Woman was 40.
Yes, she was older. Yeah, she was older.
Who else? Perfect was like early 40s, maybe 42, 43.
Yeah, that sounds right.
I think. What about Rude? Rude was he even 40 yet?
Who? Rude was not 40.
Rude. Wow.
I remember that. He was not 40.
That's crazy because it's to think that like Cena's almost 40.
Yeah.
Who I know there was even like Crash Holly, Lance Cade.
Oh, Crash
Test.
Holly was mega young when he died.
I think Test was like 33, 34.
Yeah, Test was not even 38 yet or something like that.
Lance Cade was like our age.
Lance Cade was like...
Yeah. I think Umaga was 30s.
Yeah, Umaga was like 36, 37.
Yeah. I think Yoko wasn't like Yoko was 30s.
Yeah.
Bulldog 30s.
Oh, the official SummerSlam T-shirt is out, by the way.
Oh, it is?
Yeah, the official SummerSlam T-shirt. They did a Brock versus Taker shirt, and they have an NXT Takeover shirt.
Okay, cool. Is NXT like the style of the Brooklyn?
Yeah,
black and
it's a
white?
Brooklyn takeover theme.
Looks.
Yeah, and the
I mean, I'm not going, but it looks like a cool. Sounds like a
the
cool shirt. I
Taker
haven't
Brock
seen it yet.
shirt. The theme is Sinner Takes All.
Sinner takes all.
Yeah, Sinner takes. It's Undertaker versus Brock Lesnar, and the tag on the back is Sinner Takes All.
Okay, I'll check them out.
Yeah, it's pretty nice. It's a little rockish for me, but it's still a nice shirt.
My Suplex City shirt should be arriving this week.
I still haven't ordered mine. I'm buying it at the show.
The Suplex City, New York.
Yeah, I'm buying mine at the show. I'm gonna get the New York one and maybe the Brooklyn one. Probably not the Brooklyn one.
I don't think that. I think they're only doing New York.
Yeah, I don't see myself going that extra mid-dial. You know.
Yeah.
So that's about it. You know, just a real sad week, and I genuinely hope, and I don't see why not. At least we won that out this damn week. Why WWE is not going to honor Roddy to be on the network?
I'm sure they will.
You know.
I mean, like I told you earlier in the week, like as far as a WWE career, he has way more than Dusty.
Agreed.
Because Dusty was all NWA with like a 1-2 year period that he was in the WWE. So, I mean, and then maybe his stuff, like the few times he came into the Garden and fought Billy Graham.
With Dusty, he had the Billy Graham stuff. He had a couple of squash matches, and
So, but I feel like as far as like Dusty, like 90% of his stuff was in WWE.
He was a Southern boy. You know,
Or like Piper.
He was Crockett. He was Florida. You know, once Piper left,
I mean, it's tough to focus on Piper if they're gonna ignore Hogan.
I honestly think they can work around it. I still stand by that. I still stand by the fact that they can work around it. That's just me.
I mean, pretty much you would just have to ignore WrestleMania 1, which was probably his peak.
No, but you could do his entrance. You know, you could do the shot of him.
The stuff with Cyndi Lauper.
When he kicked her, when he hit back the middle with the record. I mean, you can do
the Jimmy Snuka thing with the coconut.
You can do WrestleMania 2. You can do WrestleMania 3.
I mean, if they focus, if they do WrestleMania 1, if they focus on him and Mr. T.
Yeah, I honestly.
And then just have
this Hogan thing cannot. This Hogan thing cannot stop them from doing what is right by a guy who helped them in the most pivotal era.
I mean,
of
if
the
there was no
company's
Piper,
history.
every good guy needs a villain.
Yeah.
And if there was no Piper, there wouldn't have been a Hogan.
Yeah, and like I said, this Hogan thing should not in any way stop them from honoring, you know, the biggest heel in the most important era in the company's history.
Agreed.
That's just me. Like, I'm seriously waiting for some time during Raw, even though I'm not going to see it tomorrow, I'll be working, you know, for them to say, you know,
I'll be texting you
this week on the network, you know, Roddy Piper week, or tomorrow night, you know, such and such, you know, tributes, you know, like something's got to be done. You know, I don't think he should get a day, but something's got to be done.
I mean, Warrior got a week. Dusty got... He got that one thing that they did after Raw, and then the one with the guys talking like a week later.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't see why you... Like we mentioned, him and Flair were close. Him and Brett were close. Him and Slaughter were close. Him and DiBiase were close.
Yeah. You know,
just those four guys right there.
You know, Terry Funk, J.J. Dillon, if they wanted, you know, to bring Chavo Guerrero in and talk about his other stuff in his career.
Oh, yeah.
You know, Greg Valentine, you know, like I keep alluding to, you know, Bob Orton, as I mentioned before, there's many options for this to work, but, you know, they just need to do it, and I don't see why they're not going to. And I'm sure he'll come up on the podcast with Austin and Paige.
Yeah.
I'm sure he will. That's a given.
Mm-hmm.
That's a given. You know, I saw Paige's tweet. You know, I don't see why she won't bring him up. I don't see why Austin might not mention him. Maybe. You know, I
mean, I've from what we've seen, Austin isn't the type to shy away from anything.
Yeah, from anything or anybody, you know, I don't see why he.
I mean, he's brought up Punk. He's brought up China, so he's not afraid to mention anything.
So I mean, I'm looking forward to it, but I just hope they do right. That's about it. That's all I got.
Yeah.
That's all I got.
I think that's all I got because it's 1 o'clock in the morning. But I think we covered everything
I
on
think
the
we
list.
covered everything under the sun. So as always, for Life Podcast.
I mean, it's crazy. Like we didn't even have to like cover the last 2 months. Like I think just this week alone has been enough
and like,
for an episode.
That's the you know, that's the other thing. You know, sometimes in the wrestling world it is like a blah week, but you know, this week is anything but blah. You know, we lost the greatest bad guy the business will ever see.
Yeah.
You know, but that's you know, that's just me. You know, he will be greatly missed. You know, if anybody out there is trying to be a wrestler and you don't know nothing about Roddy Piper, you need to get to it right now.
Exactly.
Especially if you want to play bad guy.
I mean, like I mentioned before, I mean, from what I was told, my great-grandma used to boo him all the time, so it's like, and even my daughter's familiar with him, so that's 5 generations that he's been able to transcend.
Yeah.
You know? And I'm sure his legacy will live on, and he is, no pun intended, an icon. I know that's what his shirt would say in WCW.
Yeah.
One last question.
Yeah.
What the hell is a frat?
What the hell's what?
A frat.
I still don't know to this day.
I know, I was kind of looking back. I know the frat shirt had all the guys listed on the back that passed away. So I don't know if maybe that was like, it stood for like fraternity.
Yeah, that's what I always thought it meant, like a fraternity thing.
So, well,
you know, like
finally able to answer the question.
Yeah, and
that's what I think.
It has to be fraternity. It has to be.
I mean, it only took us 10 years to figure it out. I mean, it's an inside joke between us, but I know it took us forever. Like I don't know. I mean, that's one of my first memories with you, was you having this shirt that said, "What the hell is a frat?"
I didn't know what the hell it was. I thought it was great. I thought it'd be good to put on a shirt.
But I think, I kind of put it together. I was like, does it mean fraternity?
Yeah, we had that conversation, I think, during the Shawn Michaels signing.
Yeah.
That we were talking about that. But, you know, it's fraternity, and the fact that my Instagram is flooded with Roddy Piper is actually, you know, cheering me up a bit. You know, it's, you know, it really bums me out.
Even like Ronda like dedicating her fight to Rowdy and
beating that guy's ass in, you know, 8 seconds. That wasn't man, right?
34 seconds. It might have been a man.
I think it was a man. It was Buffalo, makes it have to be a man.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion. But it, you know, again, I'm just stressing, hoping that they really does the right thing at all. That's all I care about.
Yeah.
So, yeah, that's me.
Well, since we started the show with Piper's theme, I'm ending it with, what's the name of this song? For Everybody.
Oh, yeah, I love that song. I genuinely love that song. All right, everyone.
When you're listening to your podcast, you listen to it for life.
my sentiments exactly, Rowdy Roddy Piper.
Come on, Gene, wake up. You've got business to attend to.
That's the pits. Wait a minute.
You're next. Hold on. Just a second. Right here. Can you believe this? Right here in our very own studio. Mean Gene's going to get down. Can you believe it?
Well, I'll tell you what. He's definitely a fruity with Tootie. Mean Gene Okerlund doing Tutti Fruity.
Are you ready, Mean Gene?